I would say there's probably like three or four things that you need to start with, right? One is you win by knowing your audience. It is very cliche. By that, I don't mean just, make up your audience, create some audience personas, share them with the whole marketing and business, and then just write for them. It goes beyond that. It goes into a deep dive into, who they are, what their pain points are, how do they shift during their journey, because like the idea that I'm not buying easily is that we identify our audience, and then these are their pain points and those remain. It's like they need to be mapped out, like how do they progress as you take them on a journey, essentially. Where do they hang out? What kind of content do they engage with? What kind of problems they're trying to solve? So understanding your audience. Without an audience, there's no content, right? We're not talking about content you write at home, like poems for you to read on your own. We're talking about content that is addressed to someone. So who is that someone? And honestly, one of the, if you call them pet peeves, like one of those pet peeves for me is like when I see audience personas and then the rationale behind how they're built or the research is quite limited. And then you see how that affects a content strategy as well, right? Being very tunnel vision. So one thing I would urge is really understand your audience. I know audience research can be expensive for many companies, but there are so much data that people have on their hands nowadays, right? From their sales teams, from comms, either, if they have, let's say, intercom or emails with their sales and support teams, they have all those questions being asked online about products or about problems. So those need to be identified. And that for me is like 50% of winning, is that exact point. Then you win by knowing your competition. And again, here, knowing your competition, and I will add, not just so you replicate what they do. So you know your competition because you can then see what overlap there is with their audiences and your audience, their products, your products or services, what they're doing well and is working, and what they're doing and it's not working. What are they missing out on? So there again, you're getting some directions of like, okay, here's so many gaps that actually no one is tapping into in my industry. So if I go in and do it well, this is like for me to take. That's a space that no one is occupying right now. And you only do that by analyzing them and identifying them.